For years, the playbook for growing a software company was incredibly predictable. You publish an in-depth educational blog post, optimize it until it hits #1 on Google, and sit back as that reliable stream of search traffic converts into steady paying customers. But right now, marketers are staring at a massive contradiction. Their search engine impressions are totally stable. They are still holding that coveted #1 ranking, yet their actual website traffic is dropping off a cliff. This chart shows exactly what that looks like. Look at this growing empty space between the impressions and the clicks. If you check your standard analytics tools, you won't find an error message or a neat explanation for this gap. It registers as a complete blind spot, an invisible loss of opportunity. The cause of this anomaly is what search engineers call zero-click search. It is a new environment where the search engine actually intercepts the user before a single link is ever clicked. Users type in a question and immediately get a fully synthesized answer right there on the search results page. They read the summary, get exactly what they need, and leave the search engine itself without ever visiting the creator's website. The basic currency of the web, the click, is vanishing, and organic growth strategies built entirely on earning those clicks are now obsolete. The catalyst that turned this slow trend into a sudden crisis was the aggressive, widespread rollout of AI overviews by major search engines. These models scrape and synthesize information from multiple different sources, pulling them together into one comprehensive answer block that sits permanently above all the traditional organic links. Ahrefs studied 300,000 keywords, showing the sheer scale of the damage. When an AI overview triggers, clicks to the top result drop by 58%. And for informational keywords, the position 1 click-through rate crashed from 7.6% down to just 1.6%. Software companies are especially vulnerable. Their marketing relies heavily on answering early educational questions to pull buyers onto their site. Look at this data. 99.2% of keywords triggering AI overviews are informational in intent. The carefully researched educational content that companies spent years building to attract new buyers is exactly the data AI models are designed to absorb and display directly in the search results. To see a collision between a massive content strategy and zero-click search in practice, look at HubSpot. They practically invented the inbound marketing playbook. Recently, they experienced an approximate 80% decline in blog traffic. AI overviews simply absorbed the answers to the thousands of marketing guides and explainers they had built up over a decade. And there is a secondary threat running parallel to this, something analysts call the dark funnel. It is an entirely invisible layer of lost traffic happening completely outside the traditional search engine ecosystem. Today, a buyer might open ChatGPT or Perplexity and ask for a direct tool recommendation. They read the summary, compare the options, and make a final purchasing decision inside that chat window without ever visiting a website or triggering a single tracking pixel. Buyers are evaluating and selecting software inside closed AI interfaces. Maintaining a #1 ranking on a Google results page no longer guarantees that your product is even part of their consideration set. Surviving this environment requires a rigid shift in strategy. Content creators have to stop optimizing to get the click and start structuring their content to be the AI's definitive answer. Research from Seer Interactive shows that if your brand is explicitly cited in an AI answer, it receives 120% more clicks. Furthermore, because these visitors arrive pre-qualified, this referred traffic converts at 4.4 times the normal rate. To adapt, start by separating your site pages by intent. Build defensive content strategies around your highly vulnerable informational pages, rather than your commercial or pricing pages, which are largely insulated from these AI summaries. Articles now must be rigidly structured for machine extraction. That means placing a clear, concise definition or direct answer squarely within the first 40 words of a page. You also have to infiltrate the spaces where these models actually learn. Building a strong presence in human-driven communities, forum discussions, and third-party review platforms ensures you are part of the raw data the AI scrapes. Finally, add an open text field to your intake forms asking, "How did you hear about us?" It is the only reliable way to manually track the AI recommendations that your analytics dashboard is entirely blind to. The massive volume of raw search clicks we used to rely on is gone. but the buyers are still out there searching. Now, the product that explicitly surfaces inside the generated answer is the one that wins the market.